Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Iconic Conversation series. I am Xania Marie, the host, and today we're having an iconic conversation with Andre, MC KayoVee Jones, who is an MC, radio host, personality, entrepreneur, musical artist, and a music producer. So, to get the conversation started today, I'm going to define icon, which is a person or a thing that is meant to be revered or idolized. For the purpose of our series, an icon is someone we would like to recognize in our community who is a positive role model for future generations. So, MC KayoVee.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about you and your background. Were you born and raised here in Southeast Texas?
Yes, I was born and raised in Southeast Texas, Beaumont, Texas.
If you didn't know by now, me and my family were born in Mississippi. I mean, pretty much everybody was born in Mississippi except for the new kids. So I came up here in 2003 and went to Central. So what schools did you go to?
Started off at Roy Guest Elementary, then from Roy Guest to Homer Drive, then Austin Middle School, and then Central High. Like RIP Austin Middle School, RIP Central High School.
Right,
you know,
right. Everything is
kids today will never know about that.
They won't know what Central was about.
We was gangster. Nah,
right.
But it was, you know, if you want to know about what Central High was like, just go watch Lean on Me, and you'll pretty much get a good example, perfect example of Central. So.
I know. I have fun of the 1.5 years I went there.
Right, tell me.
All right, so tell me about your business, your profession. Why did you choose it?
I guess it kind of, I don't want to say it, like, you know, sound cliche, but I guess it chose me. Okay. Because I started off, you know, I was always into art, like, you know, arts and stuff, like, you know, drawing and, you know, writing and poetry and stuff like that in school. And it kind of just, Channel 6 had the news station.
Cool.
KFDM had called me, and I didn't even put in an application with him. A friend of mine who worked there, shout out to my boy Jason Rufus, you know, he was working there already, and he left to go pursue, you know, his little career in California. He just kind of referred me, and, you know, phone rang, and this guy named David Coburn was just like, hey, do you want to come work for us at the news station? I was like, yeah. Cool. So I ended up, you know, going work for them, and ended up spending about 2-3 years at Channel 6. Then I left from there and went to work about a couple more years at Channel 4. And by that time, I just kind of had just got all into the whole, you know, production and the media, and, you know, just learning about, you know, I mean, I went from making fun of the people who was, you know, in front of the camera, because I was always mimicking it and stuff like that, and then next thing you know,
you working it.
I'm starting to do it, and so I just kind of like everything I made fun of, I find myself, you know, backing up and doing and, you know, learning from it. So.
Well, that's great. That is awesome. I'm proud to have you here.
I'm honored to be here. I'm glad.
Do you have like any big inspirations, any people that you look up to?
You know, so many, like from John Singleton, after meeting him at a premiere for Snowfall, rest his soul, I've kind of looked up to Steve Harvey. Like, I call myself the Steve Harvey of the Golden Triangle, you know, and that's basically because, not just the bald head and the mustache, but just mainly because, you know, Steve Harvey is, you know, his ambition is everywhere. Like, when everywhere you look, you see Steve Harvey, from hosting the Apollo to you know, the Miss Universe, you know, and sometimes you make a mistake, you know, that happens, but it's just the perseverance, right? He's doing so much, and that to, you know, even the suit and tie and the swag of just, you know, so I'm just kind of, you know, following behind that, and just, that's just one of my inspirations as far as, you know, what I do.
Okay, so tell us about what you currently have going on as far as projects with
There's this artist, well, actually she's an author, by the name of Xania
Lord.
Marie, who has an incredible book that I've been reading, that I've read, and I'm waiting on the next chapter because you know how that is. And but yeah, I will be doing work also with the Desiree story.
Yes.
You know, that's the one I'm most excited about for sure.
Okay.
Just because of the energy, the energy from the book, the energy from the cast members, like it's gonna be superb,
Yeah.
and it's something that's gonna be new for everybody in the Golden Triangle to just kind of look at and be like, man, we could be a part of that. Memorial High School is the math department will be having me again for the second annual Pi Day. Pi Day is pretty much like, you know, March the 14th, 3.14 for all the nerds out there that remember, you know, the Pi. But yeah, it's gonna be a talent show where a lot of the students are gonna basically display talents in the form of math. By
Awesome.
You know, so I mean, I hosted it last year, and I was just amazed at how much talent that these kids have, man. And it's just like, it just blew me away. And the energy was so awesome, and you know, we had a good time. I like to have a good time. I like to clown with the kids, so you know, they got me coming back again for the second annual. So shout out to Miss Beaumont from the math department. I'll see y'all there, and y'all know what it is. We're gonna be acting up and having a good time doing it. So
that's awesome. Whenever you have to do performances, do you get nervous? Do you get performance anxiety?
I always get nervous, but I think that's the whole thing. Just thank God for giving me the gift of gab to just kind of like go with the flow. You know, even if I make a mistake, you know, I can fix. You know, it's just I can. You know, it always makes for a good, memorable experience, regardless. You know, since I was young, I used to do poetry and stuff in front of, you know, thousands of people at like church conventions and stuff like that. And, you know, we grew up in the church, so I was always in front of the church, and then you know, do a little choir singing and stuff like that. They used to put me in the front, so I kind of got used to being in crowds, in front of crowds, but at the same time, that nervous energy never goes away. Like, it's always gonna be there, but you know, it's always a positive thing if you ask me. So
cool. We did a Desiree Story fundraiser November 2019, and we had MC KayoVee not only perform some music, but he did perform a scene from the show.
No, everything is good. How your little vacation going? Look, Jeremy, I told you I got everything under control. You gotta stop calling me. Well, I'm not saying my personal business.
I wasn't, it's just, you look upset.
I'm fine. How you and Jenny? Enjoyed our day today? Y'all went out?
It was okay. I don't think I'm gonna ever get used to all these bodyguards being around us 24/7. I mean, you think I was in the mafia or something?
Might as well be. You have no idea what we found out about James' journey when he was away from Texas.
What did you find out? You know what? She must still be sleepy and tired. Let me get her put to bed.
All right. James, what's up, nephew? How your little vacation on the run going? Told y'all. See? Messing with the girl. We
Had a ball. The performances were awesome. I mean,
it was. Everybody was on point. It was amazing.
It was so much fun.
I loved it because, you know, and the rehearsals that led up to it was just like,
Right?
man, oh my goodness. It was just like, we was like, okay, is everybody going to be all right? And
Right.
people that, you know, but it was amazing though, because like you say, the nervous energy,
Yeah.
we need that sometimes to exert, you know, the roles that we play on the stage. And
Yeah,
so,
and that was all live. So when we actually do the show, you guys will at least be able to practice a little bit and be like, no, let's do it again.
right.
We'll do it again, maybe once or twice.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun though. I wouldn't mind doing that again. So shout out to all the whole cast and crew for that, man. You know.
Desiree, story cast and crew.
Yeah.
All right. So, as an artist, musical artist, and MC, do you have a dream location of where you would like to
I
perform?
just wanted to do something major as far as you know, a halftime show or something like that. It doesn't have to be as major as Super Bowl, but you know,
That's cool.
why not?
So,
you know?
like a regular NBA or NFL game?
Oh yeah, most definitely, because for one, I get to meet the cheerleaders, and I'm very fond of cheerleaders. So,
Do you have a favorite team?
oh yeah, I do have a favorite team. I'm kind of mad at them right now, and I
I
don't
mean,
want
it's
to.
okay at this point. I mean,
Season
we
is over.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Cowboys fan to the day I die, man.
Oh,
That's right.
sorry to hear that.
See, I just had to say it, but I'm used to it. When you America's team, you're used to hearing people, try to break down what y'all about. But we're gonna always be America's team. Damn it, I don't care.
If you could work with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
I'm gonna say this because I had an actual dream of me working with this person, and that would be Biggie Smalls. I had a dream, and it was weird too, because it was just like a couple of months ago I had this dream, and Biggie was alive again. Like, we knew he was dead, but somehow he came back to life, but nobody was tripping over it like a zombie or nothing like that. I think that would be dope though if I worked with Biggie, just because, I mean, I love Pac actually. I wouldn't mind working with Pac either.
Yeah.
Like either one of them.
Yeah.
It just would have been, I think, something I would have a learning experience.
It's a lot that goes with that.
Yeah.
Those two people, like, they put them in two totally different categories. But I think that they were both amazing artists at what they did, and they were great entertainers too.
Right.
And it was just, I don't like to see it separated between the two of them, because I mean, it's all black community.
Yeah.
But
I think that was just one of those situations that, like you said, like they had worked together, they would have gone a lot further. And for one, I think they would have probably still been alive. And but you can't really categorize. People always say, "Oh, this person was better, that person was better." And if you just listen to both of them, they both had their own lane of being great. Like, you can't. I don't really like to say who's the best artist these days and this and that, because you just might be a great storyteller. Like, your stories are, or could be more compelling, because the way your wordplay is. And then another person that comes and they just have so much heart and passion and have so much love in their music, like how Pac was. Like, so it's like you can't really, say which one was better than the other, because they both had their own way of expressing it. As long as you can express it, to the best of your abilities, and from whatever environment you come from, and just representing that product, being a product from that environment, I think that's what makes you great. Period.
do you have any life goals, personal goals, or work goals that you're excited about?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm excited about doing what I do with the radio station also. Like, we plan on jumping back into that again. 409 The Heat, I mean, this is a worldwide listening base. Like, you can listen anywhere in the world as long as you have internet. Download the app. Download that app, and because we're on air right now. But as far as any shows, we probably won't have any shows until like the next month or so. And I got blessed with the opportunity of actually being the station manager. So
Awesome.
I just want to make sure that's just right. I'm all about trying to show the next person everything. I show you everything I know, as long as I know that you're really trying to push it and go move on. Even if you be better than me,
You just want to see everybody.
I just want to see everybody grow, and and just become the best at it. So
Nice.
that's my vision. Just if I'm not gonna be the best, I just want to be in the mix of it, or somewhere in the lineage of that, or like in a part of that hub of people who are also entrepreneurs and you know.
Name one event from 2019 that you are extremely happy and proud of.
I would have to say the art studio performance. That even with the fundraiser for the Desiree story, that was the highlight of my year. That right there was, you know, it was amazing. The people, the turn up, the energy, the love, you know, from perfect strangers to you know, family and friends. My mom, my dad came and showed up. That was the first. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't cuss. You know. But it was nice though, man. I loved it, man. I just loved the energy from it and the support that came from it. It was amazing. So, you know, that was pretty much my highlight right there. That just kind of inspired me to just keep it going.
It definitely was a starting point for me, considering because I've been on the road for the past, since 2013. So I've only been back and forth to Beaumont. And in that time, I'm all in the back of my mind, I'm like, I have to do something for my show, I have to do something, but I couldn't because I wasn't home long enough to do anything. So now, 2019 was the best breakout year for me that I've had since my book has come out, because I finally got to put down plans and actually bring an event together, because we had the auditions, which went amazingly well, which led to us being able to have a fundraiser event at the art studio. And I was just so humbled by the turnout and the fact that I actually have people that are willing to work for me and with me on this project. And I gotta say, that performance, I'm still nervous about it. It's the very first time I performed in front of people.
You did
on something that I did.
You did great. You did great.
Thank you.
So, you know, that's what I liked about the whole thing. It was just, I mean, for one, from the audition to when I actually read the book, I was instantly captivated. Like, it had me, and I was like, okay. And I was just like, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. And my girl was next to me, and I just be going off like, what? Oh no, not now. The book is not even over. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. Okay, well, y'all can't play with me like that. You know, she was already like, what's going on? I'm like, look, I can't tell you because this is major right now. But it started off pretty gloomy for me because you know, I had an old life that I was trying to leave before the inevitable happened. And you know, like I remember I made a tweet January the 1st saying, this is a new year, you know, success, and you know, bigger business, and you know, and all of that. And 2 days later, my door got kicked in by SWAT and task force, and it just kind of like discouraged me for a second to see how, you know, not even, you know, somebody would actually just put that in somebody's ear and have them looking at me like that. I feel like I'm just trying to just keep it positive, you know, and just show what I'm really about, like this, what I'm really about, and that stuff for the community, the schools, children, just keeping everything positive and showing that you can do, you know, positive things in your community without, no matter what else or somebody's trying to make you look like, you know.
The more good you do, the more good that people are gonna see.
Exactly. And it tends that, you know, we've gone through that with a lot of our greats that we've had, you know, you know, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you know.
What do you want to be known for, and what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
When I'm gone, the mark that I'm trying to leave is a positive mark. I was hardworking. I was always trying to be in the mix of something positive. I was always had my hand in some type of money-making endeavor to where, you know, I look out for my community, my family, my friends, loved ones, and basically just had left a way out or some type of some type of alternate way that you can use your talent to be exposed in a positive light instead of something negative.
What kind of advice can you give to someone that wants to follow in your footsteps?
Stay positive no matter what. No matter what somebody else has tried to try to put against you. If you have a goal, or you really trying to, if you have a pursuit for something, or a true pursuit for whatever it is, I call it the pursuit of happiness. Like, you just want to, you can't let somebody else tell your story. I mean, your vision is not going to be, not everybody's going to share that same vision with you. So, and that's part of being, a pioneer in something.
Right.
You pretty much, you see it that you see where other people don't see, and you just have to keep digging and keep pushing towards it. They say a millionaire has at least 7 different avenues of, of some type of income towards their success. So I gotta make sure by the end of the year I have at least 7 different ways that I can make money while I'm sleeping. That's always a key. Like, something that you can make money without having to actually go to clock in for a 9 to 5. You can wake up in the morning and check your phone and be like, oh, I got some sales. Okay.
What do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I like to read a good book and sip a glass of Chardonnay. In my spare time, honestly, my spare time is me trying to start up a new business. If I'm sitting there being idle, I feel like I'm wasting time.
Right.
Like, every second is important, and I mean that comes from getting in trouble. From having an idle mind and letting the devil workshop into it. How they say it, the idle mind's the devil's workshop, and I know I get that because sometimes when you don't have anything to do, the negative things start to kick in. So I always try to find something positive to do, and if nothing else, I'm reading a book. And the book, if I'm reading a book, it's about something on how to better myself or better, the businesses that I'm trying to build.
What changes would you like to see in our community?
We need to start voting. We need to start voting for the right people. We need to start voting. We need to start standing up for our teachers in this community, because I've seen just recently something about how BISD has the highest rate of suspensions. And that right there alone is that's almost embarrassing.
What is something you think we can do to try to encourage that?
Start trying to pay these teachers a little bit more money for them. As far as the students and the parents, like, kids come home, sit down with them, like, actually work with them on their homework and their schoolwork. Ask them about what they did today. Ask them about, you have to communicate with your child a lot more. We got to be more in tune with our kids when they come home.
I'm not a parent, but I have nieces and nephews, and I believe that if we at home are as involved with our child as much as we would like our child to be involved in their schoolwork and growing up and all that stuff, I mean, we have to be there for that child. And when we send them out, it's a mimicking thing. Kids, they repeat stuff that they hear their parents and people around them hear. So if we give them that same type of behavior at home, show that we care, it's possible that they'll pick up on doing that for themselves and what they do, like schoolwork and projects and all that stuff. I think it'll reflect, and that will lead to possibly a better teaching environment for the kids and for the teachers. I think that's what would be the best thing to do. It has to start with that communication at home. So just before we wrap things up, I want you to tell me what being an icon means to you in your own words.
Being an icon to me means that you're basically a person that has always, a person who's representing perseverance, seeing it through, hard work, dedication, trending, setting your own trends, and not worrying about what the next person has, you know, tried to set up for you, and always try to just basically be a leader. But to be a good leader, you have to learn how to follow. So every leader knows how to follow. Not every follower can be a leader. So I think those are key elements of being an icon. And like I say, just the endurance, the longevity that they have towards what they do and the work that they put in towards whatever it is that they're doing is what eventually makes you an icon. Because you know, like I say, there's a lot of ups and downs. Every person has a lot of, you know, struggles in their life, and you just have to learn how to work with that and still instead of pursue what you're trying to pursue and being great. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So now that we've heard from our icon KayoVee,
I'm so honored to
MC
hear that.
KayoVee, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please stay tuned for more interviews. The Iconic Conversation series is definitely something that we want to use to encourage our community to be better, to work towards being better, and to begin building a new mindset of being positive and trying to expand that positivity to those around you. So,
Right.
so happy to be in MC KayoVee's world over here.
Oh, wow.
And I
Thank
want to
you.
thank you guys for being here
Thank
with
you for
us.
having me. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Awesome.